Abusia mema wakwaba. Ahadi latest hot news era mede bro. And you so when you subscribe ya bomori say over subscribe to channel. Now while like video no give us a thumbs up. Thumbs up na fi share no for so enye bi hwe na wo hu ensemo ekoso ewo Ghana by one. As usual politics era mede bro na eye lawyer Mati Kpebu de ensembi atuja. Yen nyina nim eye MP before na no one year demonstration I want to say democracy under attack. I don't know akotwetwe ensembebre aba eye Mati Kpebu eye mrani mi ede ensembi atuja watu bia mane eye John Dramani Mahama. Na yen hwe ye ne some de tudwa no eye Ghana web so e capture story no ema one day ababa tudwa na yen kohwe eye ensemo eye Ghana web tudwa fa ye Mati Kpebu ne nsemo obeka ye no na fi ye kwakutie Mati Kpebu said ye wode ensemo nyina etudwa ye dika yen hwe eye story no na fi ye kutie Mati Kpebu ono na numa sem a wode tudwa fa ye de koso democracy under attack na ono so echera dwe fa ho a wotu bi mane Mahama na yenkohwe eye ensem no eye Ghana web or say Mahama has a bad record of arresting more people than Akufo Addo in 8 years in office. Mati Kpebu say Mahama asa we twa to ono asa bone pado say ono wache ni padodo ono krasen Akufo Addo eye 8 years. John Dramani Mahama 1.5 year mu na mamu no 1.5 year mu ne we na nipa wache wo no wache ni padodo sen eye Akufo Addo 8 years. Na yenhwe eye Ghana website ye wode ensem nyira etudwa o say private legal practitioner Mati Kpebu has expressed disappointment with the administration of President John Dramani Mahama, alleging that freedom of speech is being compromised under the current government. Speaking an interview on TV3 on August 8, 2026, Mati Kpebu claimed that President Mahama's 1.5 year in office has seen more arrests than were made during the former president Akufo Addo 8 years in office. But I say Mahama Mumui 1.5 years he watching Pabibre and Oko Kansi ya Buhua na say a police for Yababe Cho na say ya de wo siano ne de wakujira emrane nim na sanse say we na Mati Kpebu which say Mahama chini padodo na sin eye na do dankwa Akufo Addo. I mean mamo full screen on a story ni ye. According to him, although insulting public official is not the right thing to do, arresting people for their comment is not the best approach because it could lead to criminalization of free expression. What they say here, attempted ye did a year a man penny for near adeno a year 1 year MP ministers near adeno and yet at the papa say a year but chia ye chi omono na akoye se ye ka wane kasabo ahye wane yem na je se wana sema obi wo ho na asemi wo ho ade ekoso no to so chena bi na okansem bi a onimse okoka ye ba ba chi no ene na akoye ensem bebre na yentoa ye ensem no so o say it is a bad record for JM. In 8 years the number of people Akufo Addo arrested is not up to the number JM has arrested in 1.5 year. What you say ye Akufo Addo mamuno nipa ye Akufo Addo chiwo mo no eye 8 years no enuru Mahama 1.5 years nipa wachiwo mo eye Mati Kpebu na de sansem we nyina tuja o say we said Akufo Addo was mampam. Mati Kpebu was we said Akufo Addo was mampam. Yes, Akufo Addo ye mampam. Did he arrest me? Was me catch Akufo Addo so ye mampam oche me. Koto was say Nana ya called Akufo Addo Nebuchadnezzar. Was she arrested a year? Nana ya jantwa or no so catch or say Akufo Addo Nebuchadnezzar or say or cast assembly get chirana. Allow Ghanaians to talk mumma who kwine na Ghana for so and come on the busu assembly when it can be a how or say as for the insult there's little you can do about them. It is part of accountability process. Jerry Rawlings called Kufo a sitting president, a thief. Did Kufo arrest JJ? You can silence people through, or say you can't silence people through arrest, he said. Mati Kpebu da kasa or say enya de obitima kan amanfo anu atum say wo cheche wo mo na nya no ne beka omano atum. Na Mati Kpebu de ensem bebre ena tudwa fa eye sansem ni nyina gina eye MPP one demonstration one year a one say democracy under attack. na no na Kpebu exchere na bia wode ensem we nyina atudwa ipoka kotie Kpebu ne nsema wode atudwa fa sanse we nyina ho yekotie full story no menti full story Kpebu.
That's why I kept asking questions about whether he had the full complement of the judgment. But Kpebu wanted to come in quickly. Yes.
Where minister had indicated, and that is part of the fact they had a deal with the state that I'm using you as a prosecution.
Yes, he was turned into a prosecution witness.
So were you expecting him to do anything different?
Okay. So, Mr. Okanse, my general comment.
Yes, quick.
Okay. Yeah. So on the demo, you see, let's say this. Generally, it's their right to demonstrate, right? So as a lawyer, I cannot be heard to say they shouldn't demonstrate. The Constitution, Article 21 of the Constitution, freedom of assembly, etc. And we have a rich and long history of demonstrations. So it's okay. What they've done galvanizes their base, because if you look at the numbers, it's good, because you know that the way NDC has a super majority in parliament, 2/3, etc., it's good to have a strong opposition. So once MPP is beginning to come together in order to help us keep the government in check, we should be happy, okay? That's in terms of the principle. The only part that detracts from what they're doing so far is the fact that when they were in government, we cautioned them, the bad governance, man-pam, all those things. They didn't mind us, right? And then they led us into a ditch, bench borrowing, Ofori Atta and the president's family making money at our expense, etc. But unfortunately, we don't have any other strong opposition party. They are the strongest. So we are caught between a rock and a hard place. Okay? But because of the overarching need to be able to help keep government accountable and keep the NDC government on its toes, we are forced to, let the NPP brief and then gather themselves well. Because we can't say because of all the bad things they did, then they should just go away. They can't talk at all. No, if we were to do that, this government may also get swollen-headed and may begin to do things that, of course, already people are even grumbling, which is normal, because no matter how this government treats us, it's always also important that people will continue to complain, because it's the complaints that act as the fuel. It's the complaint that acts as the oxygen to be able to cause the government to think harder and to improve our lot. Because all over the world, even the advanced countries, Norway, etc., where the living standards are far better, you still find citizens grumbling. So that is part of nature. You always need citizens to grumble, citizens to complain, so that it will move the government to do better. So for me, it's okay. It's okay. The only other point we should be mentioning is the barrage of insults. Listen, Afinyo Markins, you are nobody, and then Jantua, right? Not saying anything negative. It was okay, but unfortunately, hours on, then Nanaya went to Asempa FM and now sought to reply. That one, to be very honest, it leaves a lot to be desired. I think that something has to be done. What Afinyo Markin said, you are nobody. It was similar to what Ato Forson and Sammy Gyamfi and Co did when they went to present their petition during the Akufo Addo regime. At that time, the man they keep referring, let's correct this thing. The man they keep referring to as security man, he was a big man in the Air Force, and he was my mate in law school. So when we were even in law school, at that time, he was wing commander. Then after law school, more than 10 years, I'm sure he got several promotions. We can Google and see. That was a big man in the Air Force and a lawyer at that. But when he retired, then he got a job at the Bank of Ghana as head of security. But that's a senior military officer. Asare Bediatuo. He was my classmate in law school.
Right.
You see. And so the title, you just look at the title and said, so at that time, the NDC said it was disrespectful for Asare Bediatuo to come and receive the petition. And now, so if Avenue Markins comes to say, Nanaya is nobody, to be very candid with you, it's not an insult. Look, our democracy is stronger than this. I told you that in 1999, we sang, Kum JJ Maye, Nyami Kum JJ Maye. And I'm telling you that that song is older. We are not going back. Look, sometimes public discourse need to be caustic. That's how can JM himself called Akufo Addo and Co. Achim Sakawa Mafia. That's what JM said. Who arrested JM? So these things, I think government, the JM has to talk to his people that, listen, they need to develop a tough skin. With giving them positions, they are servants, they should serve well. They are not to lord it over us. So if Afenyo Markin say you are nobody, I don't know how nobody is such an insult. We've moved on. Look, Rawlings called Kufuor a thief. Rawlings called Kufuor a thief. Yesterday I was just watching that video. Kufuor is a crook, he's a thief, etc. What did Kufuor as president do to Rawlings? Why do we have public officers suddenly developing very thin skin? They listen, you are a nobody. What is an insult about nobody? Okay. Well, so that part, I think JM and his people, they need to set back. I think to be very...
that's your, that's your view. But then again, you grant Nanaya Agyapong that right of how she feels about it. Because
but
she was
a public officer.
Of,
it's not private feelings.
I mean,
she was standing in for the president. So throughout, she even said it, that she was representing the president. So you don't do well in receiving the petition. Then you go 2 hours later, she couldn't temporize. That's when her anger now came out. No, we can't. Remember, look, Anatete, you remember in 2015, Occupy Flagstaff House, when they went to, she did one small tweet, and see how Ghanaians punish NDC for it. So I think that, look, they should look at it. I think an apology will be in order. Let's remember the Anatete. Look, Ghanaians are very shrewd, though. Ghanaians are very savvy. Don't think that that's the end of this episode. Wait, in 2028, when they start playing it back, by then, there would have been a few other mistakes. When they put them together, NDC, they will win the election, but they will be in trouble. So I think that she has to come out and apologize. It's not about her feelings. We've put her in a public office. And in the Constitution, Article 1 says that sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana. So the people of Ghana are the masters. The public officer is not the boss. You are there to serve. So your master says something, you are not happy, there's a way you deal with it. Just remember the Hanatete tweet when Occupy Ghana went to serve during that demonstration. You see how coming to election, they used it. So this particular Jantua video, that's not the end we've seen about it. So I think government should do a bit of damage control. She must come out and apologize for that speech that is unbecoming of a public officer. It cannot be accepted. When I call it, one sentence, you see, let's understand that I'm a private citizen. So I can come up and say, Akufo Addo, Mampam, etc. We want to hold him account. But the public officer, you are in the saddle. It's different. You can't reply in that way. The citizens, as a sovereign, can say certain things, trying to, right? So the citizens can say certain things and go overboard. But the public officer doesn't have that right of reply to insult back. Yours is to say, oh, my brother, stop this, etc., give education. As long as you remain in that office. If you want to trade those barbs, then resign and come into private life. Then there can be a clash, but not whilst you are in that public office.
Right. Council, and on the want to me matter, I think you were drawing my attention. You wanted to make a quick input on that. Then we'll just move on.
Yeah, want to me, like Adam Senanu said, want to me's case, actually, it's not a good one for the demo because the facts have always been clear. We, like Adam Senanu said, we reported Wuntumi as far back as October 2022. That's the Tanon Nimiri Forest galamsey. And so that's the case is now attending court. He was convicted on the Samurai Boy Forest 1. But now the second galamsey case is attending court. That's the one myself, Adam Senanu, Kenashigbe, Kwame Sapoesedu, we reported him to CID. By that time, Andokofi CID boss and Dampare, through politics, they sat on the case and never took it to court. Then thank God we voted NDC in, and then now we are having justice. So if you look at who to me say, how come, even apart from these two galamsey cases, there were other cases, the Hansol case where AJ Frimpong, as trial judge, found out that they were doing galamsey. There's another case in Takrade, Efia Nyako, Justice Efia Nyako, another case, Edua Mankwa Efia Nyako. Yeah. She also issues concerning Wontmi's company, Hansol, Wontmi lost. So there are two civil cases bordering on galamsey, etc., that Wontmi went to complain and lost. So this conviction is not his first brush with the law on galamsey matters. So it's not a good case for the demonstration. But as I've said, no matter how, in order to keep NDC in check, we will need a strong opposition. But the other part of the demonstration, which that one, they have something to say and we are supporting, is the fact that for 1.5 years, this current administration has arrested more people on the matter of this free speech than Akufo Addo's 8 years. It's a bad record. It's a bad record for JM. They should be careful. For 8 years, the number of people Akufo Addo's administration arrested are not up to the number arrested in 1.5 years in JM's administration. That is a bad record. JM should pay attention. You see, these things, they start small. Before he discovers, all the goodwill will be gone. He should let people speak. Yes, they will say you are giant, you are this. But we're saying Akufo Addo is stone deaf. Mampam, did Akufo Addo arrest me?
Which you were made to obviously withdraw, obviously.
No, but we continue
then again,
since
yes,
then.
but
and even Nana Yajantwa, she herself, she called the Akufo Addo Nebuchadnezzar. So anytime we say Nebuchadnezzar, it's Nana Yajantwa who popularized Akufo Addo as Nebuchadnezzar. Look, let me land one second. Allow Ghanaians to land. Let me tell you, in South Africa, there's this case, the Constitutional Court killed the Boer, meaning killed the white man. It went to court. The South African Constitutional Court held that kill the white man, that song, it's a liberation song. It's not a song meaning literally just go and kill white. So it's the equivalent of our Kum JJ Mae and our Kum Akufo Addo Mae. And don't be surprised if JM, they don't stand this, and very soon that song will be sung for his JM. Listen, this country is far stronger. It's a rich history. Let's understand that area very well. Not the listing, no, you go and arrest people. No, JJ himself called Kufuor a thief, a sitting president. Kufuor didn't arrest JJ. If you like, just Google it. Even Black Rasta played back that tape just recently. Just Google it. JJ called Kufuor a sitting president a thief. Kufuor didn't arrest JJ because he understands that there's a grievance. If you enter public office, you need a thick skin. And that's what Okoboy, Dr. Okoboy, former, is it Minister of Health or Deputy? Yes, he said it. When you enter public office, you need a thick skin. So please, JM, I think they should sit up. As for their insults, there's little you can do. It's part of the accountability thing. That's our own thing. It's not going to go away. So we better maybe have a conference, rethink, but you can't shut people down by the arrest. No.
There's a question Adam Sando was put. I'll come to you. He said if that's the kind of standard that we should be setting for the democracy that we are practicing, the fact that certain comments, although derogatory, should be normalized, and having a thick skin for derogatory remarks, is that what we want to hold as a standard for our politics, for our democracy?
Obviously no. But you don't use we, the top people, as the only standard. We have a lot of our people, and even when you say the top people, who are the top? I just told you that Jantwa herself, she said Akufo Addo is Nebuchadnezzar. Somebody made a song, Akufo Addo is Mampam. Akufo Addo didn't arrest that person. I also kept repeating it. My Mampam friend is Adam Bona. He likes that word. And then other people. Mampam saying that Akufo Addo is stone dead. JJ called Kufuor a thief, a certain president. That's even around the 2000s. So Kufuor didn't arrest JJ, etc. So that thing, we need to understand it well. It's easy to just come and sit there and say, that's not the standard. Yes, I also don't support it. But if you look at the groundswell, look at Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor, when he comes into Ghana, who protects him? It's not national security. You know all the things Kevin Taylor says, said against Akufo Addo. You know all the things Kevin Taylor said against Akufo Addo and his appointees. Yet when he comes into Ghana, it's James National Security that gives him protection. Please, so this thing, let's stop blowing hot and cold. It tells you that people are not happy. Yes, I support JM. I supported him because Akufo Addo couldn't do better. But it doesn't mean if he does some things that are wrong, I will not say it. Just for example, I've told him that no, this extension from 4 years to 5 years is not on. I don't need to insult him. But I'm saying that people in expressing the dissent, sometimes the insults come. It's not the best. But arresting people too is not the best. At the end of the day, you end up arresting the whole society. So let's sit back and see what we can do, because these things, they started, even Kwame Nkrumah met them. You read Kwame Nkrumah's books, people were booing him in the 60s and insulting him. So these things didn't start today. So if you don't understand the cultural context, if you don't understand the cultural context,
Council, right. This is probably not part of our culture. I don't think it is. I mean, insulting elders is not.
It's always been there. It's a lie. Anybody who tells you that it's never been there. It's always been there.
It's been there, but also condemned. But because I see the line, I see the line that you draw in the fact that you don't support this action of insulting elders, whether it was then in the former President Akufo Addo or now. But then it is the act of remedying that same action that you don't support, which you are against.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So we can condemn those people. That's why I said we can have a national discussion. Let's agree on some modus, maybe naming and shaming, maybe only a fine. If we catch somebody, only a fine. But we should also be careful. Some of the things that are said to be insults, they've become part of our national discourse. We've accepted them. Like the one that you say, God, kill the president. That one is not going back.
That's where I have a bit of a difficulty. You see, we can't normalize an abnormality.
It's been there for long. No. The South African Supreme Court has already shown you, kill the boa. It's a liberation song. So when we say, kum jeje mayen, kum Akufo Addo mayen,
and that's why you even talk about, if you talk about culture, it's our way of life. What may have been accepted in South Africa, you would not accept it here in Ghana.
Oh, okay. When we say culture,
it is the reference point that I'm looking at.
Reference point. You should understand. I'm telling you that song is far older. It didn't start with JJ. I'm telling you that Kwame Nkrumah's time, etc. So let people haven't read. You just come when you're not happy with something. They say this one is not part of our culture. I'm telling you that this thing about how we talk to the presidents, you saw that it's older than even Kwame Nkrumah's time. It was part of the struggle for independence. It's there. Those were some of the things we used to drive out the colonial government. Those were parts. So please, when people haven't read, they should stop just coming. You just use your mind. This is not culture. You know how old those tools have been? They are far older. They were part of the struggle for independence. Part of the struggle. Kwesi Broni. Those were part of the things we used to get independence.
I want to make a quick comment on this quickly. Because
I mean, understand where Martin is coming from. And I think that he did a better job of articulating some basis for this protest, this so-called democracy is an attack, where he says that, okay, within 18 months, the number of persons who have been arrested on freedom of expression issues, it far exceeds the entire 8 years. I think that is a red flag we should pay attention to. And yes, if we want to say the government of the day should pay attention, that I align with Martin on that. Except to say, the comments that were passed, whether it's a Priscilla Adua, a Daniel Kansa, a Prince Ofori, or an Obama, did it breach the law? What was the extent? Was it something that touched on the persons? Was this scandalous? Are they things that the people took up? That's where I would like to look at it. And maybe to build on what Martin was saying, perhaps we need to look at that space. Freedom of expression, what is going on here. Because if you're not careful, it could certainly be that we now have a group of people who think that this is our way of doing things and are just insulting. Or coming up with allegations that have no foundation.
So you disagree with Martin Kpebu?
No, I'm to a certain extent, I'm varying what he's saying. I'm saying that you need to go into exactly what was said. Did it have a basis? Was the arrest, were laws breached during the arrest? How was the arrest done? Are these people who needed to be cautioned? And if that's a space we need to sanitize and say, look, in cases like this is how it should be handled. I think that is something we can talk about. But it could be the case that too many people were coming up with allegations that have no foundation or basis, and that is why these arrests happened. We need to understand the merits of each case to be able to draw a conclusion whether the 18 months to have so many people picked up was something that is seriously a red flag or there is a basis.
But you raise a question of departure from Martin Kpebu, his justification of the insults being part of our...
I think so.
He's justified why his position should be, but...
I have a bit of a worry there because before you know it, the standards may be watered down. I mean, our cultural norms, you can get into a dispensation where people are all insulting. And even though it used to be the exception and not the rule 5 years ago, if you are not careful and very stringent action is not taken, then everybody begins to, it's like we can make allegations anyhow, we can insult anybody now. And that's where you probably then have law enforcement wanting to be, robust in picking up people, cautioning them, and so on and so forth. So we need to understand on a case-by-case basis what actually transpired. And I feel that, look, if these people's rights were abused, then the party should take that up in court.
On the matter of culture, you say, Martin Kpebu says we shouldn't even stretch it there because these insults and acts have been part of our culture.
I don't want to accept that we should make it our culture. I think we shouldn't normalize it. I think we should still keep the bar high and try and frown on persons who do that. So I align with him when he says, and I'll do it both ways. He's saying we should check whether he said nobody. If the word wasn't nobody, then...
He did not. I mean, if you're quoting him verbatim...
It was not nobody.
Specifically, this is what he said.
What did he say?
I think we have the video we're going to play.
I think it's good to so that we deal with the facts because it's also not fair to if he did not say that and so on both sides. If Nana Jantra eventually made comments whose tone and content especially were not acceptable, both
he said with great respect to you and without prejudice to your presence, to nominate only you to come amounts to disrespecting us as a political party.
Okay, I think that then we cannot say...
That's it.
Yes.
Honorable David, but you have been silent on this matter.
Yes, thank you very much. I've listened to Kwatin articulate the basis for their democracy and attack walk. It's an interesting phrase they chose to label the free expression of their constitutional right of assemblage and expression. Look, and my senior senator is here. Democracy under attack? Really? Look, we all believed, even me, when Nana Akufo Addo got elected, we all thought that, well, since our childhood, we were told that this was a man who was a human rights advocate and all that, and so he was coming to do things differently. Indeed, he came to do things differently, but for the worse. Look, Martin, Gregory Afuku was in court. He was prosecuted by the state. We varied his charge sheets over 4 times. One case, one set of facts. Even eventually when he got bail granted by the High Court, as a state, as a government, we opposed it. We appealed and kept him in custody. Was democracy under siege? look, if it doesn't hurt you as a family, you think that it doesn't concern you. But things really happen. I'm not saying, look, me, over 10 years ago, the speaker, speaker has a way of identifying young people in politics. When he was engaged, he said, my son, this job that you have chosen, forget about your private life. Your private life is gone. There's nothing you can do privately any longer. Your everything will come under the searchlight. Your every aspect of your life is now a public life. So you must watch your temperament, because anything you say out of anger can destroy you. Watch yourself, watch your movement, watch your comments, and above all, insults will come. But look at me, look at how, he likes to describe himself as skinny. Look at how skinny and tiny I am.
Right.
I've been like this. Insults haven't hurt me. They haven't taken a strand of hair off my skin. I've received tons of insults as a member of parliament, as leader of committee, as leader of the house, all that.
And that's what Martin Kpebu says has been part of us. So
I'm saying that I am so upset about some of these arrests. Because you see, it goes to hurt the government. Sometimes government even doesn't know. Nobody from government to instruct that go and arrest this person. I don't think it happened. It's the police. It's happened under Nana Akufo Addo. There are a lot of things they did that I don't think the government at the time sanctioned it. But the police will do it. So if as a government you are not sensitive to some of these things, then eventually it comes to hurt you, detract from your standing in the eyes of the ordinary person, and then it hurts you politically. So my caution is that as government we must pay attention to some of these things. It doesn't help. Look, when Standogo even had a small altercation with journalists, it was blown out of proportion. It was statements were, but what did Stan do? So the slightest thing will blow it out of proportion.
So what should be the appropriate remedy?
I'm saying that as a government we must pay attention to it. A minister for government communication, I think he should be paying attention to some of these things, because eventually, when government is hurt, he is the one who will come to speak to the issues and issue statements. They must watch it that these things, they don't detract from government in any way. So allow the people. Let them say the things they want to say. Let them. It doesn't hurt government. We should focus on delivery on our mandate, delivery on projects that we promise the people will deliver. Because you saw how Martin Kpebu argued. And Martin is like that, we are close. When Martin begins to strand things out like this, he gets the headline and he feeds into the mainstream media, and then it's as though government is the one championing this. So they don't help us as a government. And as being part of the government, and part of the party-forming government, we don't want this. We don't want it at all. By all means, if it's offensive, it's offensive. We have provision on offensive conduct. It's a misdemeanor. But arresting people, confining them, and all that, it doesn't help us. So that is my disclaimer on that one. Now, 2. Kwatin says democracy is under attack, so they went on a walk. What? Sal, Kwatin, we were here. We were here. When a few hours for a general election to be conducted, the sitting head of the Independent Electoral Commission issued a statement and told a group of people that in the presidential election, you have a right to vote. But in the parliamentary election, you don't have a right. Your vote didn't matter. It led to SAR. For 4 years, SAR never had a representation in parliament, even though their votes went to matter in the presidential results. How do you treat the people? So we use all manner of legalese. It was so complex that you couldn't even think through it. Was democracy under attack? Because we are speaking of democracy, we are speaking of rule of law, structures. We use officialdom to suppress people. They never had a representative. They went to court. All manner of things were done. As a result of which, the court couldn't resolve the matter judicially.
You specifically referenced the nolly prosequors and then also
I will come to
no.
I'm addressing the issues. I'm giving him instances. I will address the issues that he's raised. I've noted all of them down. He speaks of Dr. Opuni.
Yes.
Is he aware that during cross-examination, one of the key witnesses, who was then a deputy CEO of the CRIC, that's a cocoa quality control
company.
Yes. And they have the technical expertise. Because the key prosecutable matter was that the little bit fertilizer was procured without going through testing.
Yes.
The witness came to say that was tested. So why are you in court? What exactly are you in court for? As a republic, why are we in court? And so that matter was dead. It was not prosecutable. Because the basis for which you had gone to court to prosecute was that the fertilizer were procured without subjecting them to any test to determine whether or not they were relevant to cocoa production. And a witness came to say that they were tested. So why would Agongo and Dr. Opuni be in court? So that matter was dead. In respect of Dr. Dufour, Dr. Dufour had a plea bargaining agreement with the state. Have you forgotten? He had a plea bargaining agreement with the state and was accepted. The same plea bargaining right that Wontumi is exercising. So when you are citing your examples, I want to urge you to, there are more concrete examples you can cite, because the equivalent is that the same right is being made available for Wontumi to exercise. And he's applied actually, it's being reviewed. So it's not a good example to cite. Now, the other matter about GM having referred to the Achin people as Sakawa, GM never said so. GM never said Achin people as Sakawa. You may have to go and listen to the statement correctly. And GM said, well, if even comments such as that can offend the president, if you recall, I remember he said, the president has lost the right to even complain. Because years before, he referred to his boss as Simpapeni. Have you forgotten? GM said, you refer to my boss, sitting president, as Simpapeni. Do you know the meaning of Simpapeni in Frantic language? He referred to the president again as Dr. Doolittle. So if we think that it is time for us to, all of us, we should step back and tone down on use of incendiary language, it's fine. But he cannot refer to his former boss as Simpapeni and Dr. Doolittle and all manner of things. There was even time President Mills' own sickness, the symptoms of his illness, they referred to him that he had the palm of a chimpanzee. Why not in this country? Sitting president.
So as unfortunate as all
yeah,
of
so
these
I'm
are,
saying that. So these comments, like Martin is saying, they've been part of our political body politic. So we may all have to say that maybe it's time that we tone down. But you can never predict what somebody will say tomorrow. That's the unfortunate reality of the matter. When senior wants to speak, I don't have the ability to determine first what he's going to say and how he's even going to frame it. So when the comment is made and the person is able to immediately determine that, oh, this may cause problems, so I withdraw and I apologize, like we do in Parliament, it ends it. So if any statement, but President GM went ahead to say that, oh, I was even making this comment in reference to what Adongo said in Parliament. And so if it hurts any group of people, he apologized.
He didn't apologize.
Oh, he apologized. He said, why? I cannot go against Achin people. Because the head of my manifesto team, Professor Danso, is an Achin man. The then chairman of our national party, of the NDC, Dr. Ofosu, is an Achin man. We are even burying his father today Chebi, this as we speak. So, and a lot of Achims have served. Victor Smith is an Achim, and they've served in his government. They are friends. So he couldn't have said so mainly about Achims. It was such a political, language slang.
So I think that there's a point that you make, and a number of people have sent me messages about Lawyer Martin Kpebu's position. So you said this in several language insult has been part of our body politics, but not part of our culture. I think those are two different things.
Yes. No, but that's what Martin is telling you. But you see, the politics, the onset of politics is not limited to only 1993 January.
Yes.
We have had a lot of political inputs. That's why we are calling it the Fourth Republic. Even before the First Republic, we had the colonial era. Martin is trying to say that as part of the fight against colonialism and eradicating it from our land, we use a lot of political slangs against the colonial masters, and they are gone. And then we switched the terms of the slang and now directed it at, if you are opposition, they were directed against people who were in charge at the time. So they've been part of our body politic for all these years.
Right.
But we are all saying that maybe perhaps it's time we step back and demand for a general truce, so to speak, that we should all watch our language.
Yeah, but Alfred, I mean, he makes a very important point. I think that if, for example, they have been able to highlight particular names,
But you spoke,
Priscilla,
you spoke for so
Julia, Darren Cancer, Prince Ofori.
Everybody cut into my arguments, and I can't.
I never cut in.
No, never cut into your
No, I
argument.
mean,
No. I'll come
No,
to
but you
I'll
spoke
come
for
to-
so long.
I didn't know this is
okay.
this is
I'll
the second
come
time
to
Ghana
it.
is making an
No,
input.
he wants to make an
No,
intervention.
it's into his. I'm not cutting
Gentlemen,
you.
Hold on. Mesano,
Okay, go ahead.
Martin wanted to make an intervention.
No, finish.
Yes. So just conclude on your point. So now I'll come to it.
Let him go. Because I haven't cut into him. I'm not quite sure why he's
just kindly
taking umbrage.
conclude on your point, because
I was just going to say that I like the point you made that sometimes these things are done without the knowledge of government.
Yeah.
I think you should go a step further.
Okay.
They have specific names they've mentioned.
Yeah.
Can we interrogate what happened in the case of Priscilla Adorye, Dana Nkansa, Prince Ofori, and if officers of the state acted?
That's the Obama one.
Yes.
No, I was going to address it when it came in. In the Obama one, if you read the official statement of the police, I'm trying to look for it, but I recall it was about a year ago that arrest happened. The reasons given by the police was not about any LGBT post. The police alleged that they were in possession of arms without lawful authority, and they were also displaying them. Those were the reasons.
okay.
Is the party that is saying that they were arrested because of LGBT comments that they made? Never. The police statement said we arrested these 3 people and we're conducting further investigations. I'm not able to phrase it properly, but the essence of the statement they issued, I remember very well, because this matter came to the floor. They raised it on the floor that we were attacking their media people. I said no. The police statement, that day I remember Leader Ayariga was the one who responded, because it was a Friday. Normally, when we read business statement, they do what we call Friday politics. So this matter came in. So he said no. The police statement that he just received was to the effect that they were in possession. The allegation was that they were caught in possession of firearms. In fact, they said they used a certain adjective before. Is that sensitive fire or something? And they were also displaying them without lawful authority. I don't know how that matter ended, but this was the initial statement. So now the attempt that they were arrested because they made some LGBT comments is absolutely incorrect.
Okay, thank you.
Then, but let me finish.
No.
Oh, let me finish.
Yes.
Please, let me finish. Then, look, democracy under attack. Ahmed Swali, you are a journalist. And Kwesi, you know how the work we do as lawyers, we work with journalists. He was conducting an investigation into a matter. It came to the attention of all the security agencies. Ahmed Swali died. He was murdered. As a state, we are looking into the circumstances of his murder. They buried him because he was a Muslim. So he was buried in accordance with Islamic tradition. Up to now, nobody has been arrested. The family are still in pain. The people who were closely associated with him and related with him, they are still in pain. Was democracy under attack by them?
I'm going to answer you.
Yes. So these things that you say that democracy is under attack, it cannot be. Ghana Journalists Association, in your time, they raised as many as 42 concerns or infractions against journalists. And then Akufo Addo was the democracy under attack. Apenyomaki woke up one day when we took a decision in Parliament to tilt power. We voted. He couldn't commandeer his numbers because it was a split house. He lost the vote. He had lost his position as majority leader. Ato Forson had been stated as my majority leader of the house. Apenyo went to court to challenge the decision of the house. Within 2 hours, he got a decision.
Right.
Was democracy under attack?
Well,
okay.
So when the things that you did, and we were not bothered. We're not bothered at all because we thought that they were your democratic rights that you expressed and exercised. We didn't walk in the street and say that you were clamping down on our democratic rights.
Thank
so
you.
you can't take punches.
I mean, I'm coming.
All the things you did to her, you can't take punches.
Listen to parties.
You are saying that your democratic rights are being threatened. How so?
It looks like these incidents of equalization.
No.
Respectfully,
it's not equalization. I'm telling you that things worse of its kind have happened.
Thank you.
We were not bothered. We took it in our stride.
It looks like these examples of equalizations is actually meant to justify and indeed avenge what currently we are seeing and avenge the past. I mean, I sit here as a very reasonable person, as a very progressive person, and will not promote any incident that happened in the past that was not right. I was an advocate against what the EC was doing on SAR. And I mean, I want to quickly take a bite of saying, remember, anytime it happens that the government is being drawn into the conversation, then he's able to separate the government from state institutions, that is the police, the judiciary. But the government is the government. They control all the arms of government and all the other sectors. But I quickly want to tackle on a few things, just a minute. Remember I cited the Wontumi fast trial, the pace, and I think it became quite a contentious matter here. Yeah. The context should be said very properly, that is in relation to other judicial and justice, criminal justice process. For instance, I compared the Wontumi quick trial to that of Gyamfi's investigation, which is almost taking about a year and a half and 2, and as of now, we've not had any briefing or updates from the government. Oscar, our Wayne constituency, is a member of parliament there. The chiefs themselves came out and accused him of engaging in galamsey, and up to now, the investigation has still not terminated. So you compare the two, that within the same criminal justice system, one is being rushed to secure a conviction, of course, to make a political statement. I don't have any problem if Wontumi is convicted, and indeed the state established that he did something wrong. But the context is compared. Oh, Alfred, you are rushing me.
No, please. Let me land.
But the context is comparing it to other investigative process that is ongoing. Then I think we also spoke about the issue about the insults. For purposes of emphasis, yes, it's true. It was Adongo that used the term Sakawa Mafia, Achem Sakawa Mafia, against the whole tribe. And indeed, it took President Mahama's Facebook to repost it and reshare it. So that was more or less like endorsing those ethnocentric comments. And in that context, he was not arrested.
Even Adongo's comment.
Okay,
you are coming. Give me just 1 minute.
Let me land. But please, assuming even without admitting that they've even embarrassed of insult, which we all do condemn culturally, for me, the solution and the address and the approach to it should not be through criminal gagging, through criminal prosecutions and gagging people through the criminal justice system. Alfred, if I insult you that you are not handsome, you are a fool, you are this, the right and appropriate means is through a civil route where you go through civil process and then sue the person for defamation. But this whole issue about trying to gag against free speech is what we have to be concerned. I don't care which political party it falls, whether in people and this who does it. I think we should look at it again. Then on the subject matter about the selective honesty that I spoke about, I cited the instance of Dr. Opuni. He said that there was a witness that came to testify that indeed Opuni has done nothing wrong. But, and of course, I mean, there is also even an example of the Collins Dawuda. Alfred, this is my case. What would have the government lost if they had allowed the matter pending before the court to have terminated at this final closure, so that at least we know that there is clarity and closure to the matter? Perception counts when it comes to dealing with state institutions. When on one side, they say that Wontumi within 9 months has been convicted, and the case before the court, you file a process and then get your people discharged and acquitted. Ghanaians are not robots. They are not mechanical people programmed to think in how the government expects. Perception-wise, they will believe that, well, it's because their party is in power. That is why they are taking this route and this approach. And so when you do that, gradually the confidence and the trust that people places in such institutions becomes also watered down. And I think he also cited an example of the Ameswale instance, that, well, when Ameswale was murdered, they didn't mean that the democracy was under attack. And then I want to react on it briefly. You see, Alfred, crime should be separated from the conversation of democracy being attacked. Indeed, even within the remit of democracy, there can still be crime. What we are talking...
he knows why I'm smiling. Because suddenly he says that separation is good.
No, you need to separate crime.
How many minutes ago?
Yeah, that's 2 I have.
You need to separate crime. You need to separate crime from the conversation of the democracy being attacked.
Right.
And indeed, we are not saying there is no democracy. It is because there is democracy that is why we even had the opportunity to demonstrate, because the right to demonstrate accrues under the principles of democracy.
Yeah. Right.
But what we are talking about is the pattern of events that is so consistent, and those events are very inimical and threaten the very principles of democracy. And the principles of democracy are the elements of the democracy. Right to free speech, which we've all agreed that in terms of the general performance of the government relative to right to free speech, even he himself alludes that we can do better. Right to free speech. When it comes to equality before the law, you don't rush to me through criminal prosecutions, whilst when it comes to Yamin and Oscar and all the other people with their case, you have failed to give us an update on the investigation. It's almost taken like 2 years, and the investigation has not been concluded. So those are the issues that we are having. We are not saying that democracy has collapsed. Our context is, and the conversation and the argument that we are making is that at least the act, the omissions that threatens the very principles of our democracy should be looked at once again by the government. And that's what we are saying. And I think very finally, in reinforcing my case, yes, I have to reinforce my case because you guys point to us to do it. In reinforcing my case,
done a good job.
In reinforcing my case, I want to say that at no point did Markin said Nana Yajantua was nobody. What he reinforced was reinforcing the principle of political diplomacy and mutual respect, where he expected that at least the level and the status of the delegation, I mean, government should have also met them halfway and not necessarily presented one person. That is not in any way disrespecting that. I think I'll be able to reinforce my case before this punches. Don't talk again.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.